Do you believe Iran will ever honor a real peace deal if and when one is signed? Or will they only comply when there are consequences, when they're caught? Drop your answer below because I'm very interested in what you think about this. Folks, this is the part of the Iran story that the media keeps missing. They keep talking about peace talks like both sides are sitting at the table with the same goal. But Iran does not negotiate that way. America negotiates. America negotiates to end a crisis. Iran negotiates to survive one. And that is the entire problem. Tehran can lose weapons, lose boats, lose commanders, lose facilities, lose ayatollahs. But if the regime survives, if it keeps leverage, it keeps uranium, and it keeps threatening the Strait of Hormuz, they will tell their people they won. So the question tonight is not whether peace is good. Of course peace is good. The question is whether Iran is actually choosing peace or whether Iran is using peace talks as cover while it waits for America to blink. Trump is now facing the decision every commander-in-chief eventually faces. When does negotiation become delay? When does delay become deception? And when does deception require some consequences? Now, there's a few things that are working all at the same time. And we're noticing one big strategy that Iran has, and that's delay. Iran knows Trump has a limited window. If Tehran can drag this out, preserve its nuclear leverage, maybe move some of it out of the country, and wait for a more favorable political environment, the regime can call that success. The midterms is this elephant in the room, and Trump has already said he doesn't care about the midterms. And that sends a large message to the Iranian regime. Trump has nothing to lose. He doesn't care right now. He wants the uranium out. And the uranium is the real issue. This is from a post today. Trump leaves the Situation Room without a decision. He went in there for 2 hours. 2 hours. What is 2 hours? Some Big Macs, maybe a Diet Coke. That's nothing. 2 hours with this much at stake is nothing. And this is a post from Alex Brussowitz. He is an advisor to the Trump administration. Why do certain accounts and influencers on X and multiple other platforms immediately attack the president the moment any news of a potential peace agreement surfaces? Everyone needs to take a breath and calm down. I think he's right here. We are all pushed to the edge of our seat by the news media. The news media is pushing this into something that they're trying to make a sense of urgency. And the reason they're doing that is because it sells. It sells clicks. The news media is not talking about the uranium, or at least some of the news media is not. They're not talking about the enriched uranium that is, a core factor in any deal. It's not just a side issue. It's not an extra. It's not a side of fries. It's not a side salad. This is part of the whole meal. If Iran keeps enough material to restart quickly, then any deal is kind of a waste, right? And I know a lot of you have Iran fatigue. But would you have that same fatigue if you had a son or a daughter that could be sent to go fight? A lot of people are saying, finish them. If that's the case, have you told your kid, I just want to send you to battle. I'm just ready to send you over there. Now, I'm okay with more airstrikes on their facilities, on their infrastructure, on their, grid, bridges. We've wiped out their Navy. They're down to speedboats. J.D. Vance came out and told Axios, now you can believe as much of Axios as you want. I think it is basically a fictional rag. But he told them, now I'm not sure what version he told them compared to what they're saying us, that they're very close to signing an MOU that would extend the ceasefire, which I'm kind of upset about personally. For a period of at least 60 days, it would reopen the strait, I'm okay with that, and launch talks on limiting the nuclear program operated by the Islamic Republic of Iran. Extending the ceasefire 60 days gives them time. They want time for something. There is something the Iranians want for time. And if this is the case, and I think the President of the United States knows this, I think J.D. Vance knows this, and I don't believe that the administration is really showing all their cards. Now, here's a clip here with J.D. Vance outside of Air Force Two.
Well, I think it's hard to say exactly when or if the president is going to sign the MOU. We're going back and forth on a couple of language points. I do think that we've made a lot of progress here. It's very clear that I think the Iranians, they want a deal, and they want to open the Straits of Hormuz. We want them to open the Straits of Hormuz. There are a couple of issues on the nuclear stuff, the highly enriched stockpile, and also the question of enrichment. So, we're going back and forth with them. We do think they're negotiating, at least so far, in good faith, and we're making some progress. Hopefully, we'll continue to make progress. The president will be in a position where he can endorse the agreement, but obviously, that's still TBD.
So he mentioned a couple of things there. The Iranians want a deal. I think one faction wants a deal. I think the other faction, the IRGC, no matter what kind of deal happens, they're going to continue to threaten these ships in the Strait. So there's got to be some level of accountability for the IRGC, because you might have a family member that does something stupid and you're kind of connected. It's not your responsibility, but you're going to get some of the heat. You're going to get some of the blowback. And that's what's happening right now in Iran. The president wants a deal. I believe that. I don't believe he wants to send any American kids, young Americans, to go and fight on foreign land. He's not done that. Trump announced the lifting of the naval blockade on Iran, demanding that they fulfill almost all U.S. demands in response. He said the final determination would be made in the near future in the Situation Room of the White House. And they were in there for 2 hours, and they didn't come up with anything. And guess what? That's okay. Hormuz is about American credibility. Now, there's another part of this. What do you do with the uranium? According to the Financial Times, and I don't know how real this is, but Kazakhstan has proposed that they take Iran's uranium stockpiles. Now, I am vehemently against this, giving it to a third world country with Stan at the end of the name, because I don't trust any of them. And I don't trust Kazakhstan. I don't trust Borat to take this and not sell it. That's the problem. Something does have to be done about the uranium, and I think they need to bring it back to the United States, and we need to trace it and see where the hell it went, or basically where the hell it came from. And peace through strength could very well force this. This is going to require some consequences. There was a guy by the name of Mark Thiessen. He's over here on Fox, and he laid out a couple of really solid points about how the U.S. should not do a couple of things until Iran produces the uranium.
Is that the decision to launch Operation Epic Fury is one of the most courageous decisions any American president has made in my lifetime, and it has done devastating damage to Iran. So when people are saying this is just like the JCPOA, no, it's not. 13,500 strikes by the U.S., 8,000 strikes by the Israelis. 82% of their defense industrial base destroyed. Their ability to build missiles, their ability to build drones, their ability to build navy. Their navy is at the bottom of the Gulf. Their air force can't fly any sorties. So this is serious, serious damage that has been done.
This is a great point. This is one of the most drastic and lethal decisions by any president ever against Iran. All the horrible atrocities that they have done to the United States, they have killed hundreds of American citizens, hundreds of American military. And nobody had done a damn thing about it until this president. So before anybody gets on their high horse and starts criticizing Trump, I want you to think about that. None of your heroes, Bush, Clinton, Obama, the oatmeal guy, Biden, Reagan, Carter, Bush Sr., none of them had the stones to do a damn thing. None of them. So before you start criticizing this guy, you might want to look over your shoulder. Now, we know what Obama did. He just sent pallets of cash. Joe sent some undergarments, some Depends. The Bushes probably sent cash. That's all they've ever done. They have sprinkled cash through the Middle East. They've thrown cash at Ukraine. It's not worked. So before you come after this guy, you better start looking over your shoulder and looking back through some history books at what anyone had the stones to do about Iran.
However, what Iran has figured out is that they may not have a nuclear weapon, but they have another weapon. They have the Strait of Hormuz. And we have not been willing to do what's necessary to open the strait unilaterally. And so therefore, they are using that weapon to force us into a deal that we probably wouldn't want to take. And that's problematic. We don't know the details of the deal yet, but what's being reported is that we're going to lift the blockade in exchange for opening the strait. There's no nuclear agreement yet. They've agreed to talk for 60 days. But we shouldn't be lifting the blockade until Iran hands over the nuclear dust.
He's got a great point. This is a quid pro quo. You do something for us, we do something for you. And if Iran wants to get back to making money, because they're losing $400 million a day, if they want to get back to being able to fund their country, then they need to turn over this uranium, this nuclear dust. Without it, I don't think we should do a damn thing for them. Nothing. Because that is the one piece of leverage that the president holds that Iran knows they can't do a damn thing about. You put some speedboats up against a destroyer, speedboats up against a battle group, speedboats up against an Ohio-class submarine, Virginia-class submarine. Come on. Iran knows this, and that's why they're delaying. At some point, one of their friends is going to throw in the towel because they're just watching their buddy get their heads beat in. That's the way it is. So J.D. Vance, I hope he's correct that we've made some progress. But it's time to just bully these clowns. Quit playing around and just bully them into submission. Batter them until they stop. And don't send the uranium to Kazakhstan. And I pray that the president doesn't do that. I think he's much smarter than that. We've got some footage here now that the internet's being restored. This is footage going back all the way to January in Iran. So you can see there, they're chanting Reza Pahlavi. He is the heir to the leadership there, the mullahs that were thrown out going back into the 70s. And this is what they want. The people want that. Iran's regime still intends to pursue nuclear bombs. It negotiates with that in mind. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Even the Wall Street Journal knows what's going on. That's the real issue. We have to have peace through strength. And I think a peace deal only works if Iran believes refusal has a cost. That cost doesn't have to mean endless war. So for all of the wackos that think we're getting into a 20-year war, we're weeks into this. Shut up. Okay? And for all the people saying finish them, about 90% of you never laced any damn combat boots up. So slow down there, G.I. Jane. The media, that is the one group that is pushing this and basically frustrating all of you. Turn it off. Go touch some grass. The media misses this whole regime survival mindset. Iran's regime does not need prosperity to claim victory. It needs propaganda. It needs survival. It needs just enough leverage for us to deal with them. So I'll ask you again, do you believe Iran will ever honor a real peace deal, or will they only comply when there's consequences? And enough pain, you can get a lot of people to do a lot of things. It's the Ben Dykes Show. If you want to check out a previous story that came out today, a little story right here about E. Jean Carroll. She's a little off her rocker, but this DOJ investigation has led to multiple things with Reid Hoffman and also Gavin Newsom, a potential presidential candidate for 2028 that could really change the entire dynamic for the Democrat Party. I'll see you in the next one.